A little bit in depth on a couple of different topics. The first one I thought was really important when it was recommended last week, and it was actually important enough I bumped it up in the schedule to go ahead and get it out there, is hero placement when you're doing like the prison or the ultimate or arena. Depending on your heroes, hero placement can be vitally important. And I will show you why and explain why as we go through this. We'll start off in the arena. Everybody should be doing the arena, whether you do it to compete or whether you do it just for the boxes or just for dailies. Either way, you should be doing arena every single day. Cheap way to do it is you go into the arena, you challenge, you just pick one at random, you hit challenge, and then you leave. As soon as it comes up, you hit escape. As soon as it gets up here anyways. There. This gives you counts. It also gives you these free little boxes, which are fairly nice because each one of them can drop a random item. Each box can drop randomly 1 to 2 of these. And so as you can see, by doing it that way, I get quite a few different things. It's also part of your daily. If you're important with doing dailies every day, it's down here in the daily stuff. Actually, I may have passed it. Anyways, it's part of dailies. You've got to do 3 of them. If you're wanting to compete in the arena and actually rank up, which I don't normally do, hero placement is extremely important. It also completely depends on your opponent. For instance, if I have an opponent with two healers, I'll drop out Ulrich and I will go with more Mars to add a more AoE damage, area of effect damage that hits more than one opponent. If they're heavy on damage with only 1 healer or no healers, then I typically will throw Ulrich in there and probably Zephyr. Zephyr's placement is 100% vital. Okay, Zephyr's ability makes his placement the most important decision you can make on winning or losing a fight. So for this fight, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to drop Ulrich out and I'll drop Zephyr in, and I'll switch around a little bit. So I'm going to drop Ulrich out. I'm going to put Zephyr in. I'm going to drop Fox out, and I'm going to go with Eve because I don't want to double up too much on my abilities. Damage and heals isn't bad, but heals and hills isn't good. So we'll go in here and compete. And since Zephyr is blue, I'm going to concentrate on getting some blue. Well, can't concentrate too much, so they're not giving me any blues. The key to it is to open up as much blue as you can so that you activate Zephyr's abilities. Zephyr's ability is one of the most potent when you're talking about arena or ultimate or prison. Now I activate his ability, and what it's going to do is it's going to make him, Rakeem, and Eve all regenerate hit points every single round, which means my healer and one of my biggest damage dealers is going to be extremely hard to kill, because every single round, every single person that attacks, every single round that I do, they will be regenerating hit points. They all just took a pretty massive hit, and yet they're already back almost to full health. And you can see here on this guy how big of a chunk that hit took, and yet they're already back almost completely full health. When you're talking about the higher ranks of competition or ultimate or the prison, that pure synergistic heal is what will make the difference between you winning or you losing. There is not much difference in it. I mean, it is just a few points of heals will make the difference between whether you win a round or whether you lose a round, whether you lose your healer or not. And in prison, that becomes even more important because each one of your guys that dies takes quite a bit to bring them back. And so you don't want anybody to die unless you have no other choice. I'll get this finished up real quick and then we'll move on. For winning, as you'll notice, since I actually won that time, I didn't get any because I didn't increase my rank. I actually attacked somebody with a lower rank, so my rank didn't go up. So we're going to jump in here and we're going to go over to Ultimate. Because Ultimate and Prison is where the situation and being aware of your opponent is what really, really makes a difference. Okay. It shows you here what your opponents are going to be. These are damage dealers. These are damage dealers. He's a damage absorption plus heals when he's your opponent. When you go up against him, and I'm not going to fight the whole thing because it is kind of long. In a situation like this, I typically will drop around and put her in, him in, and then in that kind of a thing, I'll go ahead and throw him in there. I'll drop Marlowe out and Myers out, and I'll go with her, but I actually want her over here. And then I'll throw Rakeem in there. I do this, that way both of my healers are getting that regen from Zephyr. That helps keep them alive and keep them active, which allow them to buff my other guys. In this situation, I'm heavy on damage absorption, and I don't have a whole lot of damage output in my heroes, so my gems is where my damage will be. And if you're going into an event like that, you do not want to stack up color types. Stacking color types is extremely hard to win unless you have a lot of damage dealers. Stacking color types is like having 2 greens, 2 purples, 2 blues, whatever. It means that the color you don't have, the gems aren't going to do any damage to the opponents at all. None. So if I did not have, let's say, Rakeem in here, I threw another blue or another purple or another green, red gems would not do any damage when you used them. They would have basically no effect other than cleaning out red gems. And you don't want that to happen very often. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but if you can avoid it, you really don't want that to happen. Now, once again, since he is one of my most important ones, you want to try to clear out blues. If you don't have enough blues or you can't clear them out quick, then just clear out other stuff, preferably greens or purples, because that's your healer and your other damage absorber. But you want to try to get as much cleared out as you can so that you actually have a chance of getting some blues in here. Because you really need to get him active as early as can make the difference between a win and a loss early on. And then every chance you can, you want to get him active. Get his heals rolling, that way your healers are constantly healing there. Now if you'll notice, Ulrich just did his event, and by doing it he healed everybody. Our Ulrich does not heal, only when he's an opponent. But as you can see, it's all a matter, when you're doing these, it's all a matter of just trying to tank up and take the damage and be able to sustain the output, which means living. If you're not living through the output, you're not sustaining it. Now, in this situation, Ulrich becomes a fairly important second one because of that ability right there. Now, if you will watch, this guy will take damage. So will this one. So even when I'm not hitting them directly, they're still taking a pretty good chunk of damage. It is not a sustained damage. It only happens for a few rounds. But if you can get in here and get some really nice combos in those rounds, you can do out a fair amount of damage in that short amount of time. I'm not really worried about doing the damage since I'm fixing to flee this one. I just came in here to show you guys this. But this is what allows you to chain through your higher ones. I'll go ahead and flee. Escape. We'll jump into prison. I already have prison set at prison 4. I was using it as some examples yesterday. This one, when you look at your enemy lineup, I see that they have a damage booster and then 2 basic area of effect damages. In other words, their damage will affect everybody in the opposing team. Her damage reduces your guys' rage, which is very bad, but there is no healer in that lineup. So I basically only need to go with one healer when I do this. So as you can see here, I lost one of my favorite guys early on, and I hate doing that. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to set Ulrich in, Rakeem, oh, wrong one, Zephyr, Eve, and then, where the hell's my Mantis? Oh, it's not letting me use, oh, he's fallen, okay, damn it. I like Mantis because his ability reduces their rage as well. Since I don't have him, I need a brown, so I'll actually go with my booster. As you can see, blues. Trying to get my blues in there so I can get my Zephyr active. That's pretty much become habit. I automatically do it every time because I need to get him active and get him healing. Now, as you can see, Myers came active. His buff only lasts a few rounds, so I wait to activate him until at least Rakeem is active. Once she's active, then I'll activate Myers and go from there. Ulrich, as I said earlier, you want to get him active pretty fast. Alright. Now Rakeem's active. So since she's active, I'm going to go ahead and activate Myers and then her. You do it in that order because Myers buffs her damage and makes her do more damage. So you do not want to do it out of order, then you've wasted Myers' buff. Prison, your opponents are get stronger the higher up in the prison you go. So you pretty much want to get in here and get as many of them dead or knocked out as fast as you can. These always take a little bit, so I may end up fleeing just to cut this a little bit shorter, because this is looking like it's going to be one of the longer videos. And of course I get the spinning light. Oop, Myers is dead. Rakeem is dead. I'm not paying enough attention to doing what I'm doing. But you get the idea. Basically in here I have several different lineups that I use depending on what I'm facing. If I'm facing something with 2 healers, then I go with Marlowe, Rakeem, Zephyr, Fox, and Mars. That gives me my double heals damage dealing. If I'm dealing with one that is high damage output, that's sustainable damage output, then I go with Rakeem, Fox, Ulrich, Zephyr, and Lady M and Marlowe. Ulrich or Zephyr, either one works. If it's really high damage, then I stick with Ulrich. If it's moderate damage, I go with Zephyr. I mean, these just give you some ideas of how to go there. And I hope these helps you when you're looking at your setups. There's several different heroes that have specific placements that really boost. As I said, putting Zephyr in the center with your two most importants on either side of him. When you're looking at Lady M, putting her one space off a center with one next to her that's really important, which I usually use my damage dealer. Agent X can pretty much go in almost any spot because all she does is buff certain types. There are certain other ones that you just, as you're playing around, you realize where they need to go. Leah is one of those. When she dies, she does a massive amount of damage. So you pretty much want her pinpoint front and center unless you have Zephyr there. That way, you know, she's taking the most amount of damage because everything's going to hit her almost. That way when she dies, she's pretty much killing everybody in front of her. But as you play, you'll find out the heroes that you play with the most, and yours may be completely different than mine, but there are certain placements you always want a tank type in the center point because it's going to take damage from all gems that are done except for in the very outmost rows. All the other gems will actually hit them. Your opponents will concentrate on your primary and one off to each side when they're attacking you. So I hope this helps. Hope this helps you advance a little bit further in everything you're doing. If you have any suggestions or comments, feel free to contact me. Thank you. Have a good day.